2025 Delhi elections are approaching, with the voting scheduled for the 5th of February. The results on February 8 will tell us, will the Aam Aadmi Party overcome anti-incumbency and retain power? Can the Bharatiya Janata Party snatch Delhi from AAP, or will Congress make a comeback? In the race to secure power, every political party runs from pillar to post. And in the recent state elections, a new trend has emerged, the M factor.
बीजेपी की इस प्रचंड जीत में जिन 2 एम की सबसे ज्यादा चर्चा हो रही है, उनमें एक एम का मतलब है मोदी और दूसरे एम का मतलब है महिला। कुछ समय पहले तक पारंपरिक राजनीति में एम का मतलब होता था मुस्लिम, लेकिन अब एम का अर्थ बदल गया है। एम का अर्थ है मोदी और महिला।
In the 2013 Delhi Assembly elections, the female voter turnout was 63.2%. In 2020, this figure increased to 67%. And this time, ahead of the 2025 Delhi Assembly elections, the total voter count is 1.55 crore, of which 83.49 lakh are men and 71.74 lakh are women, a significant jump in the women voters in several years. Now, every political party is announcing schemes with an eye on their women vote bank.
What is very interesting in Delhi is that all the 3 major parties that are in the fray, the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Aam Aadmi Party, which is in power today, and the Congress, which has enjoyed power for a long time and had a chief minister like Sheila Dikshit, a woman chief minister, are all wooing the women voters. And they're wooing them with offer of money that will be directly transferred in their bank.
Similar to schemes like the Ladli Behan Yojana by the Bharatiya Janata Party in Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, the Maiya Samman Yojana by the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha in Jharkhand, and the Grah Lakshmi scheme by the Congress in Karnataka, the Aam Aadmi Party, which promised to give 1,000 rupees per month to Delhi resident women under the ongoing Mukhyamantri Mahila Samman Yojana,
2024-25 में एक नई क्रांतिकारी योजना लेकर आ रही हैं। ये शायद 2024-25 के बजट का सबसे बड़ा कदम है। इस योजना का नाम है मुख्यमंत्री महिला सम्मान योजना और इसके तहत 18 साल की उम्र से ज़्यादा की हर महिला को 1,000 रुपए प्रति माह की सम्मान राशि
has now pledged to increase the amount to 2,100 rupees per month if elected. The Congress party has followed suit with the launch of the Pyari Didi Yojana, offering 2,500 per month if their party comes to power. The BJP has also announced a financial aid scheme, pledging 2,500 per month for women. On July 16, 2022, during the inauguration of the UP Bundelkhand Expressway, Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave this statement in his speech on these welfare schemes, or what he calls freebies.
आजकल हमारे देश में मुफ्त की रेवड़ी बांटकर वोट बटोरने का कल्चर लाने की भरसक कोशिश हो रही है। ये रेवड़ी कल्चर देश के विकास के लिए बहुत घातक है। इस रेवड़ी कल्चर से देश के लोगों को और खास करके मेरे युवाओं को बहुत सावधान रहने की जरूरत है।
But the important thing is that the freebies that the PM criticized in 2022 became a major reason for his party's victory in the 2023 Madhya Pradesh and 2024 Maharashtra elections. There appears to be a direct proportional relationship between these women-centric schemes and the good performance of the parties launching them during the elections. Despite the fanfare surrounding women-centric cash schemes, their implementation has been inconsistent across states. According to media reports, in Punjab, for instance, the Aam Aadmi Party's promise of 1,000 rupees monthly assistance to women remains unfulfilled. Similarly, in Maharashtra, led by the BJP in coalition with other parties, close to 2 lakh beneficiaries are yet to receive what was promised. On the other hand, states like Karnataka, where the Congress-led government has implemented the Grah Lakshmi scheme, have seen a rise in taxes to fund these initiatives. The long-term sustainability of these schemes is uncertain, and many economists argue that they may perpetuate a culture of dependency rather than encourage economic empowerment. As the number of such schemes multiplies, states may struggle to balance their budgets, potentially compromising other essential public expenditures such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure, and see adverse impacts on the country's fiscal health.
You cannot have social welfareism go beyond a point. But if your economic model is not delivering to the ordinary people what is their due and the basic necessities, then and it's a democratic country where you need these people's votes, then they are going to ask questions. And if parties will say, I will give you that much money now, they will say, yes, give it to me. You people make so much money anyway of us. And I will take that money. So as I say, the voters also become more cynical, more transactional. There's no doubt about that. But you have to look at why your model is not delivering, why your promises have no credibility. When you say in that much time, I will give you this, that many jobs, those jobs are not generated.
The future of these welfare schemes depends on how well they are implemented and whether they truly meet the needs of women. If they are just political strategies, they might end up as empty promises. The key question is, will these schemes actually help women become self-reliant and empowered, or will they serve only as a tool to secure votes?